is a final lightning talk, and it's about how we in the NATS team went into adopting the Go modules for the V2 release, subtitled A Song of Ice on Fire. There are a few spoilers from Game of Thrones, so if you haven't caught up with everything in Game of Thrones, it's been a while, but just in case, there are minor spoilers, I think. So a little bit myself is I'm Waldemar Quevedo, Twitter WallyQS. I work at Synadia Communications, where many of the NATS team maintainers are working right now. I'm a maintainer of the Ruby, Python, Go, and Kubernetes ecosystem clients. I wrote a book about it. You can check it out from Apres. And if you don't know about NATS, in a nutshell, it's a messaging system. It's under the CNCF. It was created in 2010 for CloudFoundry, which is a platform as a service. It is a very simple, performant, secure, available system. And next year, NATS turned 10. So actually, NATS has been growing along with Go, like way from the beginning. It even had its own, like, there's a lot of, has been evolving together with Go. And there are many talks about it already. So. And we joined the CNCF last year. You can find it next to gRPC in terms of messaging technologies. And in case you missed it, this year the NATS team did a fairly big release, the biggest release since it was originally developed. In May 2019, we shipped NATS V2. A lot went into this development. It was a result from a whole year of the NATS team working on evolving the technology. So there's a huge spike there. That's why we thought it was reasonable to now bump to V2. In the meanwhile, 2019, we didn't go to GopherCon. We were kind of busy. And we missed a few things. Modules made it into Go 1.11. And one of the technologies that we were using, GVT, got unfortunately retired. So. And we were always in defense of adopting DEP. And many things happened in 2018, like DEP. We're not sure what happened to it, but it's not important. And so it's OK, well, we just use Go modules now. And we adopted Go modules to get the reproducible build. The plan was to use Go modules. Then we also wanted to rename all of our repos from the original name gnatsd. Because it was a Go project, we appended the G into the, so it has kind of weird name now, to the original name from when it was originally in Ruby, the NATS server, and also rename all the clients from Go-NATS, for example, like Ruby NATS, Python NATS, to kind of like in JavaScript you do nats.js, so why not nats.go, and also bump the version tag to V2. So it was many changes. Adopting Go modules was reasonably simple. We just added the Go mod and require all the dependencies. Here, they're still using the old names. So it was simple enough. And then we renamed all of the repos. We had done a lot already during this almost 9-year history of the server. So it started with Apcera NATS, the original company where it was developed, then become like its own organization, NATS.io, NATS, then it changed to Go NATS, and all this time we just relied on the redirects and HTTP thing that the Go get tool does. And the final one, probably the final one now, it's nats.go. So we did all of the renaming, and then we tried to git tag v2. And that's where here we dragons. So you would tag the client and the repo and from the server, both the server and the client. So doing both of the same things is super tricky, and everything exploded. Fire everywhere, lots of broken projects. We even had like an issue with there's a no such file directory when doing the go get. Then the same dependency coming up twice in the requires when you are doing the go mod, and we're lost. So we tried to roll back as much as we could from all of the original plan. So now instead of both the client and the server being V2, that was too destructive. So we only made the server tagged with a V2. And you'll start seeing like this trailing slash syntax that we use for Go getting. I'll go into it in a bit. So we missed it, the whole like Go getting and appending trailing slash v2. So that was our first error. So we changed all the documentation so that it reflects this. We couldn't roll back the name change because ship has sailed and it's now out there. We have to, instead what we did is create a read-only versions, an archive of the repositories before using modules. And also, now, yeah, we updated all documentation so that explicitly you have to fetch a v2 so that it gets the v2 version. And there was this mysterious not such file directory issue when doing the Go get, which turns out it was a bug with the Go client, of course. And this was the state from Go, since Go 1.12. It's like a regression that got into Go 1.12. We lived like that for a few months. And then it got worse with Go 1.13. And now it's impossible to go get the NATS client. Fortunately, there was a security fix, and then very fast another release that completely fixed this for us. Thanks to Jane Conrad, who applied the fixes and then put this in part of a Go release. So now it was possible to do a Go get without getting this no such file or directory error. So at the end of doing the Go get, it was doing a stat that it was expecting. Basically the dot in the repo name was causing issues, and now not anymore. And as a result from this, now this a workaround for this issue was to append a trailing slash, and that would make the repository with a dot in the name be able to work. So now that's also supported in Go. So in a retrospective on what we should have done, so kind of sharing like our mistakes. We should have read a little more carefully the Go modules guide, which is kind of long. It's 60 pages. If you like, you have to spend some time on it and get familiar with the syntax and the workarounds. Thankfully, very recently there are more guides that kind of walks you through how to doing like a V2 version. Renaming the Go project, probably we shouldn't do it now. It's extremely difficult. There's a section in the wiki from Go. Eventually, I think maybe the Go tooling is going to evolve to be able to resolve this. It's being tracked, so it's kind of early to do that, like a big change. Go proxy and all those, I think Athens is another project that could help with this. And also, very importantly, is the Gopher's Slack is super helpful with all of this. So if you're looking at doing like a very big upgrade, adopting modules, joining the modules channel, it's a good idea. And they're very responsive. Brian, who's always tackling all of these, everyone's questions. So yeah, that's a good place to learn about modules and what is the current state of the box and how's it getting? So they got really much better with Go 1.13, especially for us. So I think we'll get there. And also, we should have made like a more careful plan. Like Kubernetes, especially, they took a long time to adopting modules, and they have like huge page of like step by step how they're adopting doing the bump of the version. So I think that's a good example. There's no time for questions. So thanks, and if you have any issues with NATS and Go modules, just reach out to us in the NATS Slack channel. Thank you.